This is literally the easiest smoky eye you'll ever do. As you can see, I like to start with some tape to map out my eyes, and this just makes a really clean line. It's also perfect if you want to do an eyeliner. Now, I always start by making an even skin tone for my eyelids using a eyeshadow primer or some concealer. It also just means that whatever eyeshadow you put on is going to stick really well. Today, we'll be using the Charlotte Tilbury The Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette, which is perfect for beginners. It's got every shade you need for this look. With this look, you'll always be starting off with lightest to darkest shades, making sure that you create that perfect base for every shadow. You always start from the outer eye in, and that makes sure that you just get a really nice smoky look. Always use less eyeshadow than what you think you need. For so many years, I thought that I needed more to create that really dramatic look, but in the end, it just ended up looking really cakey, and you get a really nice, classy, sexy eye if you actually put less makeup on, and I can't believe it took me into my 30s to realize this. So as you can see, I'm taking the next darkest shade and always going from the outside in. This just ensures it's a really blended, soft look, and if you make any mistakes, you can always just fix it before you put the next darkest shade on, which makes this really, really easy if you don't really know what you're doing or you're just starting out. This is also perfect if you just want a really easy look, and browns are so sexy if you have blue and green eyes. They just make it pop. As you can see, we've started with the next darkest shade here, once again moving from the outside in, just making sure that you really get that perfect base, and then once we're done, we're going to blend it all out. So if it's looking a little bit clunky or dramatic here, don't worry about it. You always keep blending, and especially once you take that tape off. As you can see, I'm just making sure that everything looks right before I go in blending, just making sure there's no more harsh lines there. Use a nice fluffy brush for this, and it really makes a difference. Next, you'll see that I'm going to take the tiniest bit of concealer. You can also use eyeshadow base for this, and just making sure that inner corner is nice and even, and it's the perfect vessel for whatever I'm going to put on top. Now, you can use the lighter shade in your eyeshadow palette for this. I actually used a little bit of highlighter this time, and it worked really, really nicely. It just created that beautiful little metallic golden inner circle, and I loved it. It's such a nice little look for every day. It's also perfect if you want to add a little wing and have a really fancy eye look. I typically do all my own makeup for weddings. It just makes everything so much quicker, especially when I have a kid at home. Then we take off the tape, we just clean everything up, and if you want, you can blend it out. If not, you have a perfect little wing there. I like to blend it out just because I'm going smoky today. Here you go. Beautiful. Thanks.